Look alive, TJ. Look alive.
Starting?
Yeah, dude.
So how do we really know?
Well,
I will never really know.
I will know. I know how to tell.
Damn,
I'll
I'm
let you
actually
know.
upset. I need my phones.
You don't need your phones. All right. You're good to talk now, Teach. We're back. We're alive, first of all.
We're on the wrong side.
Don't worry about being...
I'm on the wrong side, so for
Don't
those who
wor-
are watching
Don't
and
worry.
not listening,
Don't worry about that.
you can notice that me and Calvin have switched sides. I've never been on this side.
Well, I had to switch it because of cable memes.
I'm thoroughly upset. Something that I've noticed when I go back and I watch the podcast, I always have my hands on the table, and because of the lens we use, it makes my arms look so lanky and long.
They
I
kind
hate
of
it.
do.
Look, it looks weird.
It's a
I
12.
was
It's on
upset.
12 millimeter. I don't know what that means, but I know it's on 12. The number 12. But we're
You
back.
need
We're
to
not
learn
dead.
More about your camera stuff.
We're not dead. We were in Hurricane Lane. You didn't get a podcast Friday, which you
Hurricane
would have.
wiped us out.
Yeah,
The house went down. It flooded. We died. But we're back.
we're back. We came back to life. TJ has a druid.
What?
Druid.
Never heard that word in my life.
You've never heard druid in your life?
Not once.
It's a good word. Anyways,
How do you spell that?
Druid. Druid. It's a wizard that is attuned to nature.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I can't tell for being serious.
I'm 100%.
I've never heard the word before, so I guess I'll take your word for it. Whatever
I'm
that's worth.
100%. I'm 100%.
I'm not sure what it'd be worth, but I took it. So.
Okay. Today's topic, Tej, something that you've been running your life on, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Running my life on.
Well, like your philosophy and the way you think.
I
right?
guess. Yeah.
No?
You could say that. You could say
Law
that.
of attraction. I don't know what that means. I think I know what it means. I think I have an analogy to it, but I need TJ to define it for me real quick.
I think we need to get a little more information about the subject, about the topic before we just dive into
help me out. No, I'm asking you.
What
tell
that
me.
means. Well, this was your idea, so why don't you break it down? Where is this?
I don't know
arising
what you.
from?
I've heard TJ speak of this.
I'm actually going to speak at a middle school. A high school this week.
Oh,
about this.
really?
Yeah.
You said yes to that? Of all the...
Well, long story short, you know Abraxas? Remember that
Yeah.
school?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So for those who don't know Abraxas, it's a local school where we, like, local to our, district, I guess it was. And it was pretty much for, like, quote-unquote troubled kids. If you, like, were 16 and pregnant, or you were, like, always in trouble, or you came up with, like, a bad upbringing or whatever, Abraxas is, like, a specialized high school where, like, their hours are, like, 4 hours every day from, like, 10 to 2. There's no homework. It's an adjusted high school for, like, troubled youth, essentially.
Sure.
You still get, the same diploma in high school?
Yeah, diploma.
Diploma.
Yeah, diploma.
Whatever. Yeah.
We did graduate high school, contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, and one of my sister's best friends is a teacher at that school.
Oh, okay, for sure.
And somehow, like, the channel got brought up in class, and she said that she knew my sister, and a bunch of the class knew of the channel, whatever. Long story short, she asked if I could come speak for like an hour, and that I at one point in my life want to do speaking and public speaking about some of that stuff. So I said, it may not be a crowd of 1 million people, but it's a great start.
It's a great start. No, I like that. That sounds good. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So
you're gonna talk about this?
More or less. Yeah.
More or less. Nice. See, perfect memes.
Yeah. So the law of attraction, all that stuff. It's like it's like creating something from nothing. How do you transform your life into nothing to something, right? It's kind of like that type of, like
philosophy.
Yeah. So the law of attraction, for lack of better terms, and don't quote me on it, but this is essentially what it means. It's believing, it's that your thoughts create your universe, and that everything is powered by the universe. And it gets really like ancient aliens and shit.
Oh, really?
I don't really subscribe to a lot of it.
Yeah.
But there are points and stuff that you could argue that I have based my morals and
thinking,
life thoughts around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's essentially the ideology that what you believe is what becomes, and it's where the vision board came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's without getting
essentially it.
too far into it, it's pretty much whatever you believe will happen.
Go into it. Like,
I mean, like, scraping the surface. I don't know if Calvin is.
I'm down.
Calvin's very on the opposite end of how I think. I would argue.
Not necessarily in this case, law of attraction. No, I believe what.
It's like you can't take law of attract. Like, they sell the law of attraction at face value, but what they sell you on, you could believe it, but that's not what's actually happening, is what I've realized in my time using that formula. Does that make sense?
You just lost me. Whoosh. R/whoosh.
Okay. So they sell. So like I'm gonna make an analogy.
Sell? Okay.
On something, and then I'll dive into it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm really good at analogies. So I'm
gonna
whip this one up.
Good luck.
So, Calvin, when I'm gonna talk about the real thing. So like when I cut your arm,
okay,
your cells in your molecules, I don't know, I'm not split.
Okay.
And your vessels and stuff disembody, and then all the iron and blood squirts out, and then your body heals itself, right? Scientifically, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening.
Okay.
But I'll sell you, it's just a little tear, but it will heal itself in a week, right? So I'm selling you that, and that's really easy to understand, but that's not what's actually happening.
Okay, I get what your analogy is.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So law of attraction, it's way more complicated, and you're told just to believe what the easy way is, and if you follow that belief and stay by that belief, the rest will happen.
It's still the same.
It's still the same.
Yeah. You don't need to know the complicated ins and outs.
Yeah.
To enjoy or heal.
That's correct.
All right.
So
it's just going to do it by itself.
So yeah, the law of attraction, and it's also known as like The Secret. There's a movie on it. That's actually what started my journey. That's into this ideology. But it's essentially what I did when I started, I guess, is I eliminated all negative thinking from my thought process.
Okay, so I have a question before you dive into it. My question is it like celestial memes, or is
what does
it
that mean?
So like, is it a faith, or is it a way of thinking?
It could be both. Some people believe it's the power of the universe, that hubba bubba. I just think it's my mental conditioning.
Okay.
I feel like I can operate better if I don't.
We're on the same level now.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, some people subscribe to like
the celestial beings,
the universe. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
for those listening,
like, dude, it gets deep. Like, you can really go into it.
Okay. But right now we're on the same page of, we don't necessarily subscribe to the celestial ether memes.
Yeah, the ancient aliens thing, I don't really know if I vibe with it.
More so the mentality that...
I think it's like training. You go to the gym to build up your muscle and to get stronger, and this is the same thing. For me, I see it as like you're just training your brain all the time. And when you train it to fucking go 100%...
Then we don't think opposite. Because I'll go into my belief... I hate that word, but my thought process on what I think of this. Yeah. But go ahead. You were going to explain.
So yeah, I mean, like, first off, right, I started to delete every negative thought I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Even the small shit like, I'm going to the grocery store and there's no parking spots. Fuck. I have to park in the back. God damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
not
good. Yeah.
Or like, you know, or to the, the more stuff like, this video didn't do as well as I thought, or like, my life sucks, or I'm so ugly,
yes.
or
thank you.
I'm glad
you figured this out.
You know what I mean? It's that type of
that kind of
negative
thoughts.
And what I don't know what you'd call it, the believers say is that your thoughts attract the universe, whether they're negative thoughts or positive thoughts.
Sure.
The negative thoughts have a magnitude of 100, right?
Yeah.
Just use that as a whatever. And your positive thoughts have a magnitude of 1,000,000. So even though you could have 5 negative thoughts, if you have 10 positive thoughts, that severely overpowers your negative thought process.
Okay.
So
I
your
have an
positive
argument
thoughts
for that.
reach out to the universe, and the universe will bring those to you, but you have to keep your positive attitude.
Yeah.
It's that type of thing. So
that's the celestial memes.
And so I started just trying to eliminate all negative thoughts. And that's not to say you never are upset.
You're human.
You really try to focus on like not being negative. And then I started to get into this is a big portion in the law of attraction. Positive affirmations. That is something.
Define affirmation? I don't know what that means.
So this is weird shit. This really gets weird shit.
No,
and this is
it's not weird.
It is. You can like really get into it.
You can't weird me out.
Well, maybe not you, but like when I told Sabrina this, she like looked at me like, really? But like I really owe a lot of my success
love this topic
to this.
It's a great topic.
So positive affirmations, it's pretty much like telling yourself something, like reminding yourself, you're just telling yourself something.
Yeah.
And it was keep in mind I started this whole journey like after the breakup with my ex from high school, right? And I mean you were there. It was like I was in a bad
I was in a bad
place.
Fucking place. And you came to me for advice as well.
Yeah,
so yeah.
I started this like looking in the mirror, and every morning I'm gonna brush my teeth. I wrote on the mirror with an expo marker.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but maybe it was something in the lines of like,
you're handsome, you
are strong, you are confident, like you are positive.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
And no matter if I didn't believe it at that time, or I didn't believe it at all, or I was mad, I was sad, I was tired, I was hungry, I would 100% every day for like 6 months say that to myself. And I look myself dead in the eye. And I didn't have to believe what I said, but I would tell myself, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm positive.
Yeah.
I would repeat it like 5 times. And people say it's that way of thinking, even if you don't believe it, if you make your brain say it, it will help you like change your attitude, whatever. So I did positive affirmations all the time about all different things of like personal stuff, about like, like I'm happy, I'm changing, I'm whatever. And I would also, it was like positive affirmations, no negative thoughts, and then vision board, which I started documenting that on YouTube when I really got into it. And it was, what you do is you pin out pictures of things that you want at one point in your life. Doesn't matter how crazy, doesn't matter how far-fetched it is, whatever it is you want, you pin on that board. And every day you take a moment and you look at it, and all you have to do is visualize yourself owning or having that thing. So one of mine on my vision board was, it was crazy. Was 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So, one of them was a turbo. So what did the turbo kit? I imagined myself closing my eyes. I would imagine myself driving my BRZ, hearing turbo spool, hearing a blow off valve, and just smiling and driving.
Okay.
Every day I would visualize that thought.
Good.
And there was a handful of things. It was like, one of them was like money was on that board, and it didn't represent having money, but it represented finding success and doing something that I liked.
Sure.
So I would imagine what that might feel like to wake up every day and to have money not be a stress in your life, and to just do what you want to do.
Sure.
Stuff like that. And, fast, and believe it or not, I put like 9 or 10 things on that board, and within a year I all had them.
Sure.
And at that time I never thought I would have them. So yeah, that in a nutshell, that's a law of attraction. Okay. But here's my backstory to that. Here's the more in-depth look at what the law of attraction really means.
I have a lot to say. So
it's not like people think, and a lot of the naysayers think that they look at it and they go, oh, just so if I tell myself I'm going to be Justin Bieber, I'm going to be Justin Bieber tomorrow. It's like, no, don't be a fucking idiot. It's not like, oh, so if I tell myself, oh, I really want $1 million, I really want $1 million, I really want $1 million, does that mean in 3 days $1 million is going to show up on my doorstep? No, that's not what that means. But those parameters in which you try to live your life by shape yourself into being someone who always looks for the best opportunity in the worst of options. And in doing that, you are creating the best chance, the best possibilities for trying to achieve. Like following these guidelines to a T will automatically put you in the best path to go wherever it is that you're trying to go. Effort is still being put into it at all, like
it's
you
never
still,
end,
you want something that bad, you'll work 24/7. That was something I did. I worked every moment I could. But at the same time, I would always remind myself why. I feel like thinking about owning those things gave me the drive to keep going. I think that after visualizing and telling myself these things, I slowly started to believe it. And this is, I have a little like side note story too that I could talk about that's like really fucking weird. That's kind of Ancient Aliens.
Sure.
That like I've never really talked about.
Yeah.
But more or less, that's kind of what I took from what I've learned. And I still follow these to this day. I try to.
Yeah.
I mean, just following those bullet points, it automatically conditions your brain to be just a fucking hardworking badass. And it allows you to eliminate all the bullshit and focus on what's most important to you, which automatically puts you in the right place for success. Yeah.
Damn. See, I like that a lot. I like this topic a lot because I never use the word of law of attraction. I have the more science-y side, I guess. You have the law of attraction is a starter pack. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a starter pack. Like the very surface of it is a starter pack to get you going where you need to be. I came from a science-ier side, psychology, physiology, right? That's where I really vibe with this topic because Emily, I never really used it for myself because I'm privileged. I had good friends. I had a loving family. I was well off. My parents are my mom is more than willing to get me whatever I want, right? I never struggled, right? But when so those who don't know, I have a very Buddhist lifestyle. Not anymore, not so anymore because I haven't practiced really hard. I've been busy. It's been on the back burner. I'm going to own up to that. But TJ knows that I've have had meditated and come to a zone of contentness probably a year or so.
This was back in end of high school.
Yeah, so back in high school. So
that was 5 years ago.
I know. So, but it was like high school and then 2 years later, and now it's coming back. So up, peak, and then lowering itself, right? Because I haven't been practicing. But the Buddhist lifestyle gave me this similar mentality, right? Like instead of doing positive affirmations, which I tell people to do because I learned that from psychology, right? I learned that's a really good thing. It really helped Emily. Emily was in a bad place. I could get her on here and she could talk about that. But from a psychological standpoint, the law of attraction makes 100% sense. So if you keep telling yourself, so I want you guys to put yourselves in your shoes. This is why I'm not insecure, right? I'm human and I'm insecure about some things, right? But most things I don't care anymore. TJ makes fun of me for like my smelly feet, my loafers, my hair before, right?
Mostly just your outfits in public.
Yeah, and a word that starts with H, but we're not going to say that here. He makes fun of me for all these things, but I have learned psychologically that insecurity is from a Buddhist mentality, insecurity is a waste of time and energy, right? I went about doing it with accepting that whatever was said about me is basically truth, because they wouldn't say that if it wasn't sort of true. But I've learned, right? I do wear that stuff. I do watch the things I watch. Nice meme. But I've come to realize like that's what I like, and I'm not gonna be shamed by those who make memes of me, right? And it may seem like they hose me a lot, and they do, but it doesn't get to me because I've told myself in a similar way to positive affirmation is that's what I like, and it's not gonna. I'm gonna keep doing it because that's what keeps me happy. I keep myself sane, and I've reached a point of contentness where it doesn't. What I do to make myself happy brings the universe happiness. My whole philosophy is, if I keep myself sane and happy, and the people around me will be of a similar mentality, right? Think about it for yourselves, right? If you're sad, the people around you become sad because your energy or your vibe is sad, and they're going to worry about
vibrations,
you. Yeah, your vibrations, right? Your emotions leak to others that care about you, and it makes sense. If you're happy, your peers will be happy because all of you are just feeding off of each other. Same way with negativity, right? Like the way TJ was saying, I stopped saying, oh, fuck, where's the parking spot? Or, well, this guy cut me off, right? I've been making those memes, right? I just been making jokes about all of that. Like, it's a joke. But I've realized that it's no longer a joke anymore. I'm actually pissed that someone cut me off. When I was practicing my lifestyle, I would just be like, oh, they have somewhere to be. The lady is pregnant. She's giving birth in the back seat. They could pass me. It's fine, right? I used to say that, and lo and behold, I could drive 65 miles per hour, and if someone comes up behind me and tailgates me, I don't care anymore, right? But as TJ said, when he cut out all of those bad memes, I let them back in, and now I'm actually mad, and that just proves the fact of the law of attraction, right? It proves it because whatever your mental state is, and the more you convince yourself, right? The most convincing person to yourself is yourself, because you're always with yourself. And if you're always convincing yourself that you're not worthy or not good enough, you're not going to be good enough. But it's simple, and it takes a lot of work. And TJ said 6 months and still going. It takes a lot of work to tell yourself, hey, I look good today. A little tweak I would say to your thing is I would, and more streamlined I would say, is when I did this for Emily. So she was not very confident at all. She hated herself and her body, right? And I was like, okay, stop. First of all, I don't want to hear that shit, right? I don't want to hear you saying bad shit about yourself. I ask you only one thing. Say one good thing about your photo. Something you like, right? Because you have to like something. You took the picture, you have to like something, right? So the first photo, she hated everything. But you know what she really likes is her eyes. She's like, I have beautiful eyes. And I was like, good. And then eventually, to this day, she's saying more than that. She loves herself now. And I think it's beautiful that she was able to do that, and TJ was able to do that. And I just want to be able to spread the idea of positive affirmation, this idea that can give you like power, right? Like TJ said that he would tell himself that he worked towards this thing. He wants this thing. He understands there's work to get the thing, but when he tells himself that he's good enough to do it and that he's able to get it, then that is a positive feedback loop and exponentially grows to the point where he strives for achieving that thing. And it'll eventually happen because he's making it happen. He wants it to happen. He cut out saying that I can't do this, because you won't be able to do it if you can't do it.
Goes back to my favorite quote. I want to put up in the shop.
If you could quote.
I love it. He who says he can and he who says he can't are usually both right. It's the most. I've never had a vibe with any other quote like that in my life. That's I want that on my fucking coffin when I die. Like that's the one thing I want the world to know when I die.
That's good, because like it's super true. It's super true. Same way with Buddhist thinking. My favorite quote is it's from the current Dalai Lama, I believe. He said, if there's something you could do about it, why worry? If there's nothing you could do about it, why worry? Point being, you shouldn't worry.
Green tea is green tea if it's just green tea, Calf.
Exactly.
Shout out to Fousey Tube.
Nice meme. So, like, it's a beautiful way of thinking, and if you're worried about, like, you may, like, I'm not assuming all of you are of the mindset of you may be like TJ and myself. You may have reached that point, and for those who have reached that point and want to help others, the best way I say is to start people off slow, right? I watched this video, this 30-minute documentary of a Japanese method, right? So it's a method for those who are lazy, right? To get you to do something, right? Let's say you wanted to work out, like for TJ when he wanted to work out. He was super into it, right? He's super fucking, I'm getting big, and he did. He got big. Whereas I was like, I don't really care, and it's a lot of effort. But when I watched this video, what was said was, if anyone can do anything for a second, 10 seconds, a minute, or even once. So I was like, okay, I'll do one push-up every day, because that's easy. You find the time, takes 1 second out of your day, one push-up. But the concept is, eventually you'll start doing, oh, this is way too easy and I'm liking how it's going. You could do one push-up for like 2 months, right? And eventually the idea is you're going to want to do more. And then you'll work up to TJ's level, which was 100 push-ups a day. And then he did 100 pull-ups a day as well. Like, the idea is any lazy person can do something for a second, or do it once, like Emily. Just say your eyes are beautiful once every time you look at a picture of yourself. And then, or TJ, write down the thing once a day. I'm handsome. I have a nice butt. I'm strong. I'm strong and I'm confident, right?
Huge penis.
Once a day. Anyone can do that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it really helps.
Before we close this off, I'm talking to you about my special powers I never told you about.
Special powers?
Dude, there's like, okay, so like.
You have the ether memes now?
No.
Channel.
So back when I was living still with my parents, I used to, this is before Sabrina and I lived with each other. This is before like, Sabrina like spent the night every single night. So every night I would really, and this is like in the phase of like really building the channel. I was still in school, like really building the channel. This is like when I like really was like, I want to be a YouTuber, baby. I was like,
you're about to give the secret memes?
Yeah.
You're giving secret memes?
This is like fetus stage. There's a handful of speakers I love to listen to. I don't need to listen or talk about them, but I would listen to a handful of speakers every night. And I would, no shit, I would stop watching TV and I put my laptop next to me. I'd lay on the other side of the bed, and I would play these talks. They're like hours long, and I would fall asleep to them every single night. If I slept over at your house, if I slept over at Sam's house, if we were wherever, headphones every single night. And they weren't more so about law of attraction, but more so about like life lessons, motivation, turning negative into positive, how to be a go-getter, stuff like that. But during these talks, whether I was listening to them or not, and this is the power of believing, I swear, and I still believe I could do this today. This is weird shit.
All right, go.
You
fucking wizard.
I can, if I really believe, I would believe to myself,
okay,
this video, or like this video, this month, like we're going to do like 1 million more views than last month. Or like this next video, like
Yeah.
if I like really put my energy
Okay.
into focusing on a certain video after it was already uploaded,
Yeah.
I could make a video get more views.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sure,
joking.
man.
I'm
gonna,
not fucking with you.
I know. Sure.
I
That's
could
fine. I
believe
I
and just I wouldn't believe that it would happen. I'd believe that it already happened.
Okay.
And I could like pinpoint videos and be like,
Okay.
this video.
Okay. Sure.
And is it bullshit? Maybe. Probably. Am I gonna let myself believe it's bullshit? No.
Good.
I don't know.
That's all that matters, right?
The point I'm trying to make is believing is so powerful.
Absolutely.
And it's like the quote is seeing believing or is believing seeing? I think believing is seeing. Believing,
Sure.
you know what I mean? I think that is so powerful, and I still feel that way today.
Good.
And that's kind of what we wanted to leave you guys with. I don't think I think we may have talked about this stuff kind of in the past. I know motivation is often kind of a cringy topic on YouTube, but this was kind of more of a little bit deeper than that. And
No, absolutely.
sometimes it's nice to drop a little fire.
No, this is what I like. These are the topics I like talking about.
Yeah, I hope that touched some people out there. If you guys are actually have interest in this topic, please let us know down below.
Yeah, dude.
I can't
love
stress
this.
enough how much we actually go to the comments and read through them and spend time looking at them.
Yeah.
We hear you guys. We know we have a lineup of guests we want to have on the show, and we have some topics we want to go over. But drop some light down below. If you want us to go more in depth, if you see a little like rabbit hole you could jump down, let us know. And if it gets our attention, we'll for sure talk about it.
I love heavy topics. As TJ knows, he's tired of hearing me talk about these memes.
Yeah, boys. Thank you for tuning in this week, and we will see you in a couple days.